Welcome back to Superman Comic a Day. Today is day 18 as we tackle Superman number 17. It will never stop confusing me that these numbers do not match up anymore, and it's just going to get worse. I know I've said that every day this week, but it is getting worse for me. I don't know why. Today's action comic story is the return of the Ultra-Humanite. And where the Ultra-Humanite does in fact return. So it's an actual accurate title for the Ultra-Humanite. Unlike the last one, he already met the Ultra-Humanite. So right away, a ship is in danger. The ship known as a Clarion is a passenger ship. It's in rough waters. There's a really big storm happening at the time. Am I trying to make this more exciting than it is? Kinda. A small ship is sent out to go help it, but the rough waters overturn it, killing every man on it. What the hell? Where the hell is Superman at this point? Well, he's coming. He has to swim across the rough waters and climb onto the ship. When he gets on the ship, people are already thinking about jumping off, which, if the ship is not taking this very well, how well are you going to take it when you're swimming in the ocean? I mean, a ship couldn't get to you because the waters destroyed it immediately. Just think this through, people. You're in a city that has Superman, but it's unclear if they actually know if Superman exists because this was a decision they made. As we all remember, Superman is a guy in a blue costume and red cape. He shouldn't be a character in the shadows. Like, the first time this guy goes out and saves anyone, everyone's going to be talking about the dude in the blue costume and the red cape. The people don't want to actually listen to Superman when he comes on, but he starts manhandling them like he's holding a dude over his arms again, like he did to that radio station manager who did nothing. These people aren't exactly doing anything. They're about to kind of commit suicide. But he convinces them all to stay on the ship. And then through his words, he's able to convince them to help fight the fire that's on the ship. Yeah, the ship is also on fire. Maybe that is a better reason to jump into the ocean, but you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't at this point. So they all try to help him fight the fire, but they're actually kind of useless. Nothing about this group coming together to fight a fire is actually fighting the fire. So Superman just tells them to stop, and he then takes care of the fire. We see him like running down different places with the hose, and by himself he's able to stop the fire. I mean, if he could have just done that from the beginning, why didn't he do that from the beginning? Like, I like the idea that they all come together and help, but if they end up being useless, why even bother? Superman then saves the ship by pushing it towards the shore, which he should have done from the beginning. Like, why is he even bothering fighting the fire? He could get it to shore really quickly, then fight the fire, and people can evacuate the ship. Instead of just waiting here where there's both the storm and the fire is going to kill them. He really needs to think things through. I would love it if he just had some sort of plan before he tackled anything. Back on shore, he confronts the owner of the Clarion. There have been multiple ships that have been destroyed recently. Well, he won't talk to Superman at first, so Superman manhandles him. Superman's a dick. There is no other way to put it at this point. The Golden Age Superman is a dick. He picks him up and starts manhandling him around. He's not really torturing him, but he's just kind of... I mean, wouldn't you be annoyed if some godlike man held you over his head and just started, like, not letting you down? It's like your annoying older brother. He's being extorted. If he doesn't pay $5 million to the people sabotaging him, they will continue to destroy his ships. Well, that is a job for Superman. I mean, the first part was definitely a job for Superman, but now we definitely have a job for Superman. Out of curiosity, I went to check on the inflation calculator to see how much $5 million in 1940 is today. It is $957 million. So they're extorting him for nearly $1 billion. That's crazy. You gotta start that asking price way lower. Like maybe a good 10 million. Or wait, I guess maybe 2 million? Maybe 1 million. I didn't actually double check how much that would be. Still would be an insane amount now. Superman looks into it. He tries to track the phone calls they're sending the owner. Unfortunately, they have some sort of device that keeps phone calls from being tracked, which should be impossible. And the fact that it is impossible makes Superman think it's the Ultra-Humanite, who for some reason in this issue is only referred to as Ultra with quotation marks around his name. I have no real complaint about it. It's easier to type. I mean, Ultra's generic. I also just kind of like the quotation marks. Like, we know it's a stupid name that's not real. But we've never gotten his real name. It's also a huge leap in logic, but it is the only supervillain and mad scientist who exists in Metropolis right now. And remember, last issue, it became Metropolis. We know this is Metropolis. Now that Clark Kent is looking into it, Ultra sends his henchmen. They grab him, put him in a car, threaten him, and then throw him out the car. Of course, not knowing he is Superman, this does nothing to him, and in fact, now he can just follow them to the secret lair, which is the Ultra-Humanite's Achilles heel. His henchmen keep leading Superman back to his lair, though I can't 100% complain about it because what he should be doing is what he ends up doing in this comic. So Superman smashes into the lair. The Ultra-Humanite is sitting there in his wheelchair waiting for him. The Ultra-Humanite really looks like Luthor in this comic. Usually the Ultra-Humanite has some hair on the back of his head, but he is completely bald for most of these drawings. Like with George Taylor, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Star, he's really inconsistently drawn. Like they didn't 100% have the idea of what he looked like, though George Taylor can go from like square-jawed to a fat balding guy in, well, not fat, an out-of-shape balding guy in an issue. Ultra-Humanite just can't decide how bald he is. The Ultra-Humanite holds a acid-shooting gun at Superman, claiming it would penetrate his impenetrable skin. I seem to recall 2 separate comics opening telling me that only a bursting shell can break through his skin. And I don't think acid is a bursting shell. Be consistent with what can hurt him. Or, you know, come up with a better analogy about what hurts him. Once again, I still don't understand what a bursting shell is. Is it a cannon? And even if a cannon hurts him, I have no understanding of what the equivalent of that damage is. Is a truck going like 100 miles an hour into him the equivalent of a cannon hitting him? It's not a good illustration. Superman doesn't care about this acid. He just tries to run at the Ultra-Humanite, but he runs into an invisible wall. There is an invisible barrier the Ultra-Humanite has built. He's built an acid gun, an invisible barrier, some sort of device that allows phone calls not to be traced. He's been really busy in the past issue he didn't appear in. Now that Superman knows that the barrier is there, he just crashes through it. I mean crashes through it. The invisible barrier shatters. It's pretty visible when it does that. It looks like glass breaking. Ultra never actually uses the acid gun, and there's a good reason for that. It turns out he's a hologram. So he has sort of learned his lesson. He is not at the location that the henchmen are bringing him to. So this time the Ultra-Humanite does get away through clever means. The other times weren't all that clever. It was just because Superman seemed to be nerfed at the time. He would escape and immediately disappear. Superman has super hearing, or sensitive hearing as it's been called in these comics, and telescopic vision, which I don't know if has been brought up yet. He hasn't used the X-ray vision yet, but he has telescopic X-ray vision. He should be able to find a guy who just disappears a second ago. Here he's nowhere near, so there's no way Superman knows where he is. And we continue with this game of the Ultra-Humanite escaping and coming back again. Oh hey, that was the title. The Ultra-Humanite returns, even though he's called Ultra. So I don't know if I really enjoyed this issue all that much. It's still great to see the Ultra-Humanite at the end, but it's not a lot of him giving Superman some sort of interesting challenge. Though the beginning has an interesting challenge for Superman, and the ending has a somewhat interesting challenge for Superman, so I'm going to call that a win. I just don't like the mobsters. He honestly should take care of those challenges in seconds. So that's it from issue 17, The Return of the Ultra-Humanite, who will once again return. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video goes up. I do this Monday through Friday. But this will be the last day this week of a Superman comic, as I get into Detective Comics tomorrow for Bat Fridays. And no, I can't decide if I'm calling it Bat Fridays or Batman Fridays. Batman Fridays is a more specific title, but Bat Fridays sounds so much better. And as we end here, I would like to ask a question we should always be pondering. What did ever happen to the Man of Tomorrow?